Alright, so the stream looks like it's running. You probably saw me zooming on the map and were wondering what I was doing. This is the mission that I just flew again with my wingman like last night, and we had a little bit of fun. He went to take out the SA2 here, and there's not much left of the site. There was like a huge site here, and there's nothing left, or just about. There were two ZSU-23s here. He took one of them out. This one, I guess, was able to escape. There's an SA9 here. He took care of that. And so on top of doing that, you can see some dead pilots here and there. So we took out some enemy planes. I kind of was lucky. I did a mission, my last mission here. You can see I was with Mirage F1. And I had loaded the center line and the outer pylons with bombs. And I had some Fox 1s and Fox 2s. And my bombs I went to drop on the troop reserve position here, and there's pretty much nothing left there. This is what the area looks like. So my first bombs fell short, but I had 6 of them, so I have boom, 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 boom. But the last 2 made a lot of damage here on the BTRs and trucks that were here, and there were some soldiers that got killed as well. So that was nice. But on my way back from that strike, we detected with the AWACS that there were some Mirage F1s taking off from this airfield here, and my wingman was attacking the SA2. So as they took off, I guess he went to take one of them out, and I was in that area here, and I could see one heading towards where our AWACS is. And so I could see him flying over the water here. So I was around maybe that area here, like where the reserve thing is. So I went like in an intercept course over the ocean. I found the Mirage F1. I needed 3 missiles, but I managed to kill the other one. And so I came back afterwards and landed the plane like you saw here. So I was kind of happy with that. My wingman brought back his F-16. And so, yes, this is our base here at Sukumi, and I think it's Sukumi, is it? Yeah, Sukumi Babushara. And we have some F-15s flying cap right now. I think earlier they took out like the MiG-21 that was here. And so there might still be a little bit of air-to-air, but I think most of it we've taken care of. But one of the cool things I had done with the mission is that, yes, we wanted to take out the SA2 here because we have some strategic targets here, like a factory with the 4 chimneys and a warehouse. We have some targets that I had put here for an F-15E. Since I haven't flown the plane for a while, I don't know if I'll try it or not, or if I'll do it with another plane. There's a power plant that we can hit here. A tech hangar there, an artillery position here, a bunch of things at the front line. My first targets that I had to hit with an F-16 with Mavericks and some CBUs was there was a line of tanks across these fields here. Like you can see that there's fields and there's this village, and in this area close to the sort of the front line. There were T-80s, BMPs, and now there's just one BMP left, so shows that I was able to take most of them out. I guess we can maybe check if we can spot, yeah, some of the destroyed vehicles like this one here. That's a T-80, and there were a few others in the area. You can see one there too. But yeah, so we cleaned that area up, but there are still like quite a lot of targets. I had put like a fuel reserve there. There's a Grad MLRS position there that we could hit. And all those guys with the rockets. And then a fuel reserve here that we could hit, where they've got fuel trucks hiding under the camouflage tents, and some like fuel containers there. So you can see lots of things. I was thinking maybe I'd reload an F-16 because I kind of enjoyed shooting my Mavericks earlier tonight. And here we have like those artillery vehicles, which are the Gwodzikas, which are like armored vehicles. So that could be some good targets for an F-16 with Mavericks. And we have a few trucks and tanks as well. I'm thinking I could bring some conventional bombs and some Mavericks to try to take out that position. That could be kind of fun. And so we could do that. And then maybe I don't know, maybe take one of the frontline targets with the Mirage F1 again, because that was fun too. I've practiced the Mirage F1 this week. And so, what do we do when we want to do dynamic spawn? We start with our waypoints. Let's select, let's say this one. I'm going to delete the waypoints that are there because these were for that target, and as you can see there's not much left, so let's delete those. Pretty much leave nothing, and then we'll add our first waypoint on the bullseye. This is what I've been doing pretty much all evening, is I put them on the bullseye, let's say at 8,000 feet. So that's gonna be I'll call it IP. And then we'll go to our artillery position here, and we'll put a waypoint there at 0. We'll call it TGT, target. And maybe we can have like an egress waypoint here. Let's make that one at, I don't know, 9,000. Maybe we can put final. And then a nice one here at 0 to be able to land. There. And so we've got the little box checked. Use this for my next plane. Looks like an interesting flight plan. And so what we can do is go choose slot after that. Select roll. And then I can choose an F-16. That looks good. For a livery, which one am I going to take today? Kind of like that one, the Chile. So we'll call it 732 because that's the number it has anyways. And so we'll put some 120Cs, 9 mics. We'll go with some Maverick Ds. Here I'm sort of tempted to put some Mark 84s. Yeah, I haven't shot Mark 84s in an F-16 in quite a while. Kind of fun to drop a big bang. And we'll have no, I want a fuel tank here. And here I want my lightning pod. And so that's going to be our loadout. And so I'll try to go drop those large bombs maybe on the tents and trucks, something like that. Trying to decide if I should take the really big bombs or maybe just put some GBU 12s. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more fun with GBU 12s. Because I'm going to be heavy if I have bombs plus 4 Mavericks, the 2,000 pounds. Okay, so this is going to be 1688. That's going to be fine. There's nobody else flying. So let's go with OK. Make sure that spawn is hot so that I don't have to do a cold start. And then we're going to appear somewhere here at the airfield. Oh, first time I get this particular spot there. And so we can see we have a Chilean F-16. This is our base. We're still paused, so let's just check F10. If I click on the waypoints, yeah, we can see that my waypoints look like they're in, and if we look in the plane as well, yeah, they're loaded in there. So let's unpause, make sure that everything is good, the gears, the parking brake, all that is good. Alright, so unpause. We'll have to be careful not to hit the guy with the fire extinguisher. So let's turn on our power to the targeting pod. I'm going to put the lights on steady. Turn this on, put this on bypass. I like to turn this on even though I'm not supposed to on the ground. Power the Mavericks. Last time I forgot to power my Mavericks. I had to do it in flight. It's not the end of the world, but it just takes a little while before they're ready to shoot, so it's not ideal. So now we've got this. Another thing I could do is put my VHF on 129. That's the frequency for the base here. And I'm going to put COM1 on 264, which is the frequency of the AWACS. So first, let's request taxi to runway.
Comey, Springfield 1. Request taxi to runway. Springfield 1. Comey, clear to taxi to runway 30.
For some reason, my HUD seems a bit bright. Yeah, that's better. Oh, and I still have my parking brakes. So this is what my plane looks like. Got the Mavericks. We got the air-to-air missile, the GBU-12s, which I think is going to be a wiser choice than the big Mark 84s. If I decide to go fly the Mirage F1 after, maybe I'll put big buns on that one. And so we'll taxi to the runway. Oh, we're still on air to ground. We're switched to but when we're in air to ground, we can put that in CCRP and that in pre. Good. So I'll probably start with the Mavericks, so that's good when they're set up properly. Air defense vehicle there. I think we have a Hawk site right there. So we're covered for air defense. I've flown from this base setup before, but usually it's a winter template, and I've changed it to have like a summer one, because right now where I live it's winter and it's really cold, and so I don't feel like flying with white stuff all over the place. I have white stuff all over the place outside, and so I figured some sun, some greenery, that's gonna make me feel good. Awesome. Let's go fly some beautiful trees that have leaves on. Good. So the ATC is working okay tonight. My rudder pedals are acting up a little bit. Okay, my switches for autopilot were not helping. Let's try, oops, that's not what I want. I wanted to do this. I was hoping to get a good angle for a screenshot, maybe. That gonna work? Something like this, like action shot. We'll try to get on our flight plan, and then we'll play with screenshots maybe. The first waypoint is in that direction there. Autopilot on. Now let's see. Let me find a good angle. The airbase and everything. Yeah, that's good. It's kind of nice. I like this. There we go. That's probably going to be the screenshot that will accompany this stream. You'll probably understand that I have to do that after the fact, but if you're watching now, you're probably looking at the Italian F-16 from last night. Alright, so I'm going to climb to the angels I had set here for my IP. You can see it here in the HUD. I'm going to ask the AWACS for bogey dope.
Magic 1-1, Springfield 1, request bogey dope. Springfield 1, Magic 1-1, clean.
Okay, so we have a clean picture. I've also put tonight in the mission the Big Eye script for the AWACS, because last night my wingman wasn't too pleased when he got surprised by the enemy, and so I figured we'd have a little bit more situational awareness, so if something on the enemy side takes off, we should be informed. So let's check all our systems are go. Looks good. Since I'm all alone now, I don't have to have my lights on for formation flying. Gonna go back in air to ground mode just to see if my targeting pod is gonna be ready. Looks like it is. And here I'm gonna go to the weapon page for the Mavericks. We're gonna zoom in, at least we'll have two ready. And so come back to nav mode. We're almost at our waypoint, yeah, one. So let's move to the next waypoint, which is at 23 miles. Is it to the left or to the right? Oh, it's to the right. with the sun where it is, it was kind of hard to see on the HUD. Maybe I should brighten it up a bit. On takeoff, I thought it was too bright. Now it's not bright enough. Okay, so we're 20 miles from our targets. I'm gonna climb just a little bit, get myself under the clouds, but a little bit higher so I can dive towards the targets. And what I'll do is I'll shoot my Mavericks on the artillery trucks or vehicles first, and then we'll maybe drop our GPUs. So let's set the autopilot. Let's go check our lists. Code is 1688. That's good. That's what we want. Alright, so let's go switch air to ground. We'll make our targeting pod soy. Maybe switch it to white hot. Yeah, we see much better like that. And now I'm gonna move the camera to the left. On the first one to the left, I'm gonna make a point track right there. Now this is pretty far for the Maverick to see, but what I plan to do is try to go from left to right as I'm gonna shoot the Mavericks. So let's bring that to the center, slow down maybe just a little bit, and then we're gonna slowly dive like this. Oh, now we're getting shot at by AAA. I just saw some tracers go by. Yeah, I think we're close to that bridge. There's an SA-13 here. I should have checked my flight plan before I did this type of thing. Although I think the SA-13 is closer to the other bridge, so yeah. Still gonna do that, but okay. So I'll take a different approach from the north, because these AAAs are not fun. Okay. So I'll follow the river more or less north, and then we'll come back to the targets. I don't think there's going to be as much bothering us once we're on the enemy side of the river. They're defending that side here. Yep. And they're defending it pretty well, as you can see. Lots of tracers coming at me. Alright, so that's our target area. I won't be able to go from left to right though. It's gonna be like a progression forward. That's the impression I get here. Okay, so we're lined up. I'm gonna put the attitude hold, and now I'm gonna go check my Mavericks. Okay, so I'll be able to move that here, and that's a good lock. Rifle. Let's move there. Good luck. Rifle. Move there. Good luck. Rifle. And then this one. I was able to lock, but I was too close to shoot, so what's lighting me up now? Well, I see 3 puffs of smoke there, so I think we got some targets. AAA is lighting me up. So that must be like a ZSU-23 here. I'm trying to remember if I had put a AAA on the artillery, or if it's just one of those random ones. Let's go check on the F10 map. Oh, there is a AAA there, right? Okay. I think I'll keep one of my Mavericks for that, which is what I have left anyways. One, this one. So we're going to shoot the AAA with that guy. So I'll continue moving away. I'll head north with the river. And then as I turn around, we'll try to spot the AAA, and then we'll have 2 GBU-12s that we can use for the tents and for the remaining artillery vehicle. So here I'm jinking ever so slightly in case the big AAA guns shoot me from a distance. Alright, 10 miles. That should give us room to be able to work. Alright, so attitude holds. Okay, so this here, let's stop the little funky chicken thing that it's doing. Is that the... trying to determine if it is the AAA. Let's go back to that. Well, there isn't much left in the area, so I guess this is... yeah. It's like the engine compartment of the AAA. And so if we look here, we can just move left just a little bit. Is it gonna lock? Yeah. Okay, we got it. By fall.
Altitude. Altitude.
Poof. And we got it. It's on fire. Good. So that reduces the threat, and it also makes it a bit easier to drop bombs afterwards. So since we don't have any more of those weapons, we're going to go here and choose our GBU-12s. We are in CCRP. I don't want to get too close to the bridge area here. Trying to see where's the bridge. Okay, it's there. This is where they have like an SA-13, so that's infrared. Sometimes you don't get much of a warning when they shoot that one. Alright, let's try that. So now we're gonna make our thing here soy. I'm gonna try to spot the one vehicle that's supposedly remaining in the group. Let's go. Whoops. My plane is maneuvering. Trying to spot. I've got the tents, that's okay, but I'm trying to spot the artillery vehicle that might be still alive. Is that him yet? That's a truck. Ah, okay, he's hiding next to his friend. Okay, I got him now. Oh, I'm in the clouds. Gonna get some more speed going. We'll come back. So, okay, we've got the river. The bridge area we want to avoid is there, so turn right. We're still a bit close. Target is like right behind me there. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of room to maneuver. Now my laser's on, master arm's on, that should work. Bombs are activated, GBU-12s. And so let's turn around. 7 miles. sort of a minimum, but we had a lock on the targeting pod, so hopefully it's kept it. Alright, let's go. Yeah, sometimes it moves and then you lose everything. Not good. Okay, so he was close to one of the burning vehicles. There he is. Locked. Bombs away. And we're gonna lace. It's a good survival technique. You hide behind like one of the destroyed vehicles, but I guess it didn't work out for him. Alright, so we have the one bomb left that we could drop on the tents. And we'll see if we do like a gun pass on the trucks afterwards, because I like danger. Now, speaking of danger, that's the danger zone here. Close to the bridge there. Let's not go too close. As you can see, the bridge is on my right wing. It's still a good distance, but I don't want any infrared missiles coming at me without me knowing about them. We'll move just a little further into enemy territory, and then we'll turn around, drop our last bomb, see if we want to do some guns. Like, while I'm checking here, I could put the targeting pod on the tents. Doesn't want to stay locked too well, but we'll turn around and make sure that it's in the right spot. And like we did earlier, distance 7 miles should be good enough to turn around. Alright, so these are our tents. The point track is really acting berserk. Okay, that's good. So let's go like that and get ready to drop the bomb. Bombs away. Gonna go cat 1. Move the camera in that direction and start lasing. Kaboom. No more tents. I'm gonna bring the target on my right side. Gonna have a quick look. Where are the trucks? Okay, it's these two smoking things there. And is there another one there? Where's that? Yeah, I think that's the destroyed ZSU. So okay, those two smoking things near the big fire. Alright. We're upside down. So we're heading in that direction, and can we see what it looks like? Okay, so it's gonna be close to us. Let's go. Yeah, I see those two little lines of smoke.
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up.
And there we go.
Pull up. Altitude. Altitude. Tap flare. Tap flare.
Alright, so let's get out of air to ground mode, switch waypoint, go to the egress point. Maybe we could climb into the clouds. We've got 5,400 of fuel left. Let's head home. Not much left here. Autopilot on. Let's go check F10 map. Artillery position is now empty. And we're heading home. See if we got a good connection still. It seems like we do. Saw someone write a question, what do you play? I'm playing DCS. I don't often check the chat, unfortunately. I do have two monitors, but I don't always run the two monitors at the same time. In DCS, sometimes it gets a bit confusing, and I have the other monitor because it's like this flashy thing on my left side. So I have to alt tab to be able to see the chat. That's why like you won't see a lot of responses. One of my viewers last night was nice to point out that if you write any comments, I usually answer back to the comments in the comments section of the live videos that I broadcast. So yesterday somebody was asking me what my HOTAS setup was, and so I have the Orion 2s by wingman. I've got the FA18 throttle, and on the stick side I've got like an F16 stick with the shaker kit, which adds a few extra buttons. I pretty much never use the shaker. When I installed it, I tested it, and when the whole thing shakes, I guess it can be fun, but in the building where I live, I'm probably gonna disturb everybody because the walls are made of cardboard. Alright, so now we're gonna descend and we're gonna get ready to go land. That's the airfield right there. Zoom on it. So this is where we're going. And I think for the next flight, what I'll do is I'll pick a target and I'll take the Mirage F1. Now again, if we shoot a little bit and go check F10, there doesn't seem to be lots of enemy airplanes lifting off. And we still had like some of our cap flights earlier. I think they came back to base now. But yeah, okay, so next waypoint, autopilot off.
Altitude.
And so we're going to slow it down, pull some G's. It's going to allow us to lower our speed enough so that we can lower the gear. And it's good for the blood circulation. There we go, gear coming down. And we are now on final.
Warning, 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 warning.
I get this nice plane to land. Find it funny that there would be like a residential complex right in the path of a runway. In real life, if you ever go check that particular airfield, it looks like it's pretty much abandoned at this point. If you go to Google Maps and check it, they have some pictures of the site, and the airport terminal looks like it's got broken windows and all kinds of things like that. So I don't think many people use that airfield anymore. Although I did see there was like a parachute school that was listed at that area, so I don't know if they still use it for that. Alright, so let's get this on the ground safely. Do some aerodynamic braking there. Get our nose wheel steering on. That's where we're going. We're going to our parking spot. I'm gonna go past these trucks, helicopters, the Hercules, and the old Antonov 2s. We've got a few little shelters ahead of us, so we'll go park there. Little barrels there next to these older planes. Since earlier my wingman and I, we parked at shelter 1 and 2, we're gonna go to number 3 here. Let's see, that looks kind of good. Completely inside. Let's brake, put the parking brake. Ask for the ground crew to put the wheel chocks.
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
You can see the targeting pod getting in its stowed position. canopy will open. Okay, so we did take out our artillery position. Like we said, there's nothing really left here. So I'm thinking like one of those buildings here maybe could be fun, or there like a fuel position too there too that could be fun. Or the grad. The grad is really close to the SA-13, and since I'm not the biggest expert with the Mirage, I think I'm gonna go for the fuel reserve. I could actually come in and almost like a straight line like that, avoid this area, and then egress like this. I think that would be a good idea. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can modify the ones that I had, since we're testing stuff here. So we have land, final, egress, target. Let's say I say delete. Doesn't look like it deleted it. It deleted something, but okay, tell you what I'll do then. I'll just delete, 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 delete. So now I've got nothing left. It's probably because the airplane is still there that we see these waypoints. I should have exited the plane, but that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll create a new one. So one over here at, let's say, I don't know, 4,000 feet will be good enough for the Mirage. This will put the waypoint pretty much like there's like a row of fuel tanks and trucks like that, so maybe put it like this. That should work. At 0, and we'll call it TGT. I'm gonna put an egress in the same position as before. Let's say at 4,000 feet. And then a final. And then a land at 0. And so I've got the box checked for use this on the next airplane. So now I can say select role, dynamic slots, Sukhumi, Mirage F1. Where's the Mirage F1? There. So this looks good. I'm gonna choose, let's see, what could be a fun skin to have? Trying to remember. There's one of the Mirage F1 skins that looks like a European camouflage. That could look cool. Côte d'Argent, maybe, I think it might have been. Anyway, we can change that once we're in the cockpit if we want. So I'll just put some magics there. I'll put the big bombs with the parachutes there. Put air-to-air missiles just in case. Some more of the big bombs with the parachutes there. Earlier I had sort of like regrets, so I think I'm gonna go with rockets on the outside just because I like shooting rockets. So 4 bombs, lots of rockets. Seems like a good idea. And then spawn a hut, yes. And then we'll say 332. Let's try that. So do I have the right color of plane that I wanted? Yes. And it's the one with the little tiger. That's the one I wanted. Good. All right. So as you can see underneath, I've got the heavy bombs. Those are parachute retarded so that I can drop them at low level. And I brought some rockets because last time I was sort of not too sure if I would hit my target or not. You're gonna find me funny to do this, but the only way to remove that radar cover that I don't like is to open up the canopy, and when you click on this, it's like you throw it out the window. So now that we've thrown it out the window, we'll close the canopy, get this set, and then we can start looking at, okay, so the external pylons are the ones that carry the bombs. We want ret right here for the retarded bombs. And yeah, so when we're gonna drop, we're gonna want to have fuselage and this to select those two. This looks good. I'm gonna turn the lights off on the ground because I forget sometimes in the air. So now we're looking a bit more stealthy like this. To remove this so I can see my fuel state. Get my flaps down the first notch. Remove the cover for the wheels. This is on, so we're good. We're on the first radio there, which I will put manually. Oops, wrong button. This button. I'm gonna put it on the frequency of the AWACS. And it is in manual, the M mode there, that's good. Let's test it. Parent menu, AWACS.
Magic 1-1, Colt 1, request bogey dope. Colt 1, Magic 1-1, clean.
We are clean. And so, let's start moving a little bit. Oh, we've got the parking brake on, so let's get that handle in, and now we can move. What I'm thinking here, though, is that I don't have the frequency of the tower, so I won't be able to ask to take off, but looks like it's pretty quiet right now. Let's do our own air traffic control, and yeah, there's the refuelers are in the air, but apart from the refuelers and the AWACS, everybody's come back. I have put that funny little camo on the F-15s. The Ferris scheme, as they call it. You can see that this one has come back from his patrol and it's got that kind of color. And so again, we will taxi to the end of the runway. We'll go bomb our target, maybe drop a few rockets, get a bunch of fuel burning. Oh, while I'm on the ground, one of the things I like to do is set that thing down here. 'cause you have to do that for like forever, it seems. I think it's like 152 or something like that. Let me just check with this. Yeah, that seems about right. I want it to be fairly low there, and so yeah. Let me just reset my thing there. Okay. Can I see it? Yeah, I can see it. Good. I try to do as much as possible of those settings in an older plane like this, which is very analog, so that I don't have to flip, click, pluck, click, click, click all the while I'm in flight. In an F-16, when you drop bombs, the plane calculates everything for you, and this one, you have this manual wheel that takes forever to operate. And I've got it set at one of the easier settings where I'm going to do a low level drop at high speed. So it's actually a little bit easier to do it like that than, for example, when I do a dive bomb, I have to know which altitude I'm going to drop it from. I have to set the barometric altitude here at the proper setting for the target altitude. It's very complex in the F1, so that's why usually I kind of like using rockets or doing a low-level bomb pass. It's fun to practice dropping the bombs, but operationally it's not really the most brilliant thing. I just want to check my nose wheel right now. Is it on the... yeah. Okay, so now I'm a little bit less sensitive. Makes it more precise. And let's go. About 12 degrees. Then it just takes off on its own. Get those gears in. Those flaps up. Now that the flaps and gear are up, I can go afterburner again. So now we're at 350. And then we can stop the nonsense fuel burning.
Magic 1-1, Colt 1, request bogey dope. Colt 1, Magic 1-1, clean.
I just realized I hadn't set up my navigation mode. That's one of the things that I usually like to do on the ground. So let's just, oops, okay, pedal center. This is good. Let's put the autopilot, and oh, it doesn't want to go. Are we too low, or is the throttle too high? There we go. Okay. So what I wanted to do is this thing here has to go click, 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 click. And now we're actually headed in the right direction. which is the opposite direction from the runway, right? And if we look on the map, we're heading for the bullseye, and if I click on the waypoints again, you'll see that's where my first waypoint was positioned, and the second one is on the target. So 9 miles. Let's get autopilot off. Gonna test my countermeasures. There we go. Don't have tons of them, but I want to make sure they work if I get too close to the SA-13. So I've got the E3 in the Hawk, so no enemies there aren't lighting me up. Okay, so we're passing the first waypoint, switching to the second one. 15 miles. At this point I'm going to arm the bombs. Click, click. Oh, I think I only have some underneath because I took rockets. Yes. So we've got the bomb pipper there, and it will be useful for us. I'm just repositioning myself in the seat, flying very low. In terms of speed, we're close to 500. That's where I want to be. Six miles. I got under 500 feet. Four miles. Just gonna do a quick pop-up to have a look. Okay, I see the targets. I'm well lined up. Coming back down. Just at the treetops. See AAA shooting. Bombs away. Oh yeah, that blew up good. I like that. That was wonderful. Okay, just because I have them though, I am going to shoot some of my rockets. For the rockets, I like to change this to about 50. So there. Don't need much of a target marker when you've got that much smoke on all the fuel that you set on fire. There it is. And so, got a few search radars looking for me. And so at this point we see just fire and more fire, so we're gonna spray and pray. I don't think there was much left there anyways, so let's fly out of the area. So I can go to my egress waypoint. There it is, 8 miles. We've safely avoided the SA-13. How are we doing on gas? 3,000. Awesome. And so just for fun, because we're practicing stuff, we're gonna go voileur, or is it, yeah, voileur, like this on the outside. And there go the empty rocket pods. And so now we're an air-to-air plane, more or less. Still have that bomb rack in the center, but we're gonna keep it. And so switching to final waypoint. And we will head home. Now one thing I was thinking, because I think it's available in the mission. There's an MPRS tanker there. So, Baskets. He's on 265. Does he have a TAC end? 6.5. Okay. We're gonna try something. First of all, my radio, I just need to change this number. And then I can call him and say, I'd like to go join you. Which one is it though? Let's exit out of that menu. Shell 61. Okay. Tanker, Shell 61, intent to refuel.
1, Colt 1, request rejoin. Colt 1, Shell 61, proceed to pre-contact at 20,000 and 240.
20,240. Now I'm gonna have to bring this, I think, back to. Oop, how come it's? Ah, okay, it's because it still has that. So we're climbing pretty quickly. I can hear the TACAN, so I can shut the volume down for that. But I have to put this back. Oops, click, 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 like that, I think. Let's see, does it make sense? The 18 miles. I'm here, he's there. Yeah, 18 miles. So that arrow is pointing at my tanker. And I know he's heading in that direction, from left to right. So I don't have to head directly at it. I can turn a little bit to the right and continue climbing to Angels 20. And we're going to attempt our second air-to-air refueling of the week. I think that might be him over there. Let's reduce the range of the radar. Not this button, but this one. Yeah, I think that's going to be him right there. So there, 12 miles. Angels 18. Do I see something big in the sky? He's a little bit more to my right. Ah, there he is. Or is that him or the AWACS that does that white line? Ah, I see him. There he is. So that's my tanker. So we're gonna go try and do a refueling. Let's not forget this switch. It's not really because I need it, because I'm at 2670. It's just because I like practicing this.
Right.
I got a chance to practice my air-to-air engagements today. So now I'm going to do an air-to-air refueling, which is nice. After dropping bombs and rockets. Speaking of that, just for fun, let's have a quick look here. Yeah, there's nothing left here either. So we took care of that. Now let's take care of this, forming up with this big guy. What's my speed? 400. I'm catching up probably to him. I have a lot of fuel and we're gonna get some more, so let's accelerate a bit. And we can confirm we're at 3 miles. He's turning. We're gonna turn with him. We're heading over the nice mountains there. Yeah, that looks good. Angels 20. I'm gonna slow down a bit. He's turning again.
Right.
Try to keep him in view, but I was sort of passing him there. I'm gonna have to speed up to get to him. Don't you love that visibility? Those big metal rails. Wrong button.
Ready for contact. Cleared contact.
So now he's going to deploy the hose. And he's going to turn at the same time, which is lovely, right? So when I try to get information with him, I look at his pod underneath the wing, and that's what I mostly focus on. I try to fly information with that, and then when I get really close, I try to put the basket on the probe. That's my method. And now we're turning. But as you can see, I'm just following his pod. So it's throwing me off, but not too much, because I keep focused on the pod. He can stop moving. I'll be able to connect at one point. Almost there. Little power.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
I have to add power because I'm feeling the tail become heavy. Have to be careful not to add too much.
Transfer complete.
Oh well, there we go.
Disconnect.
We got a full load. 4,009. So we'll turn our switch off. And then we say, thanks for the fuel. So I think I'm right where my waypoint was, or just about. So we'll move to the next one. Oh no, okay, yes, I'm not on the waypoints, I'm on the tanker right now, so I'm gonna go back to that, and then I'll go back to that. There we go.
Right. Right. Right.
Magic 1-1. Colts 1. Request bogey dope.
Ah, wrong frequency, of course. I'm still on the frequency of the tanker. Good thing it's just a one number difference.
Magic 1-1. Colts 1. Request bogey dope. Colts 1. Magic 1-1. Clean.
We've got the airfield in front of us. We've got a lot of fuel to burn. We're gonna be heavy if we land like that. Do you think the people on the ground would like to have an air show? I tried to sometimes look at the chat, so I saw Jet Fighter said hello. I'm saying hello back. Somebody was asking which plane I'm flying. It's the Mirage F1 version EE. That's what it looks like. The main difference, because they have 3 versions available in DCS. When you purchase the module, you get all 3, but the CE doesn't have that refueling probe, and it's got a little bit older instruments. This one has the option to have a more modern RWR, and it has the refueling probe that I just used. And so let's see, are there any other questions? I guess that's it. And so yes, I was thinking of doing a little air show for the people on the ground. So let's put a little afterburner and see what we can do.
Right. Right.
We can first say hello to our friends at the tower. Drop a few flares there. Line ourselves up like that.
Right.
We can do like little maneuvers like this, right?
Right. 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 Right.
And you do a nice little circle and afterburner. We're fast.
Right. Right.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 3 at 27,000.
Reducing my speed. I'm gonna do this, pull a lot of G's, then put like 1 notch of flap. Make a lot of noise over the airfield. I guess that will have burned a little bit of our fuel.
Right.
Get the flaps back up because we're accelerating fast. I think I could have done that better, right? Let's try it again. That's a little bit better. It's easier in the cockpit because you can actually see your angles like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. So we're gonna slow down. Maybe now we can get the lights back on. Gonna be flashy flashy. Now let's see if they'll still want to talk to me at the tower.
Tacomi, Colt 1, inbound. Colt 1, Tacomi, fly heading 130, Fort 1, QSE 29.88, runway 30, to pattern altitude.
They still wanted to talk to me. Trying to get a visual on the runway. There it is. Okay. You just have to find the residential area and then you find the runway. Okay, so we're a bit fast. We're gonna slow down some more.
Tacomi, Colt 1, request landing. Colt 1, Tacomi, clear to land, runway 30, wind 104, at 2 meters per second.
Now we're falling like a rock. I like to put this up to be able to see a little bit better where I'm going. I'll go full flaps. Rudders nice and centered. Got a little parachute out. Now that we're off the runway, we can drop the little parachute. There we go. Ploop. We'll get our flaps up. The air brakes that we see underneath are going to go back in. Flaps going completely up. And we're going to head for our little shelters over there for parking. Doing like a zigzag between the helicopters, the planes, the trucks. Is that the plane that was doing an air show earlier? Yes, it is. Since I had parked my other Mirage F1 at the first shelter, I'm going to go park there again. One of the cool features is that, like, when you have the nose wheel on the very sensitive setting, you can almost turn on a dime with this thing. That's why, like earlier, to show my wingman, I had like entered my nose in the hangar, but I had turned around, like, get it ready to leave. So if you look at it, like if I go like that, I can do this, and then I can do this, use my left brake, give it a little bit of power. It's really turning on a dime right here. I've got part of the plane in the shelter, so the little guys on the tractors would be able to push me back in pretty easily like that. But for now, I'm just going to tell him to put the wheel chocks.
Chief, place the wheel chocks.
I put my parking brakes on. Ground crew. Wheel chocks. Is it one of those planes that I have to open the canopy for them to hear me? Maybe it is. We can do that. And so let's try that again. I think the modern jets, because they have like a connector on the outside, the ground crew can plug to it.
Chief, place the wheel chocks.
But this doesn't.
Copy.
You see, now he understood.
Wheel chocks are now in place.
Older planes. Really cool looking plane, but it's a bit older. We'll give it its lazy shutdown. And I think that's going to be it for me for tonight. So we've been able to destroy quite a few things, but I'm still left with a BMP group, some trucks here, frontline buildings here. Those were kind of nice. I had done a nice setup for those, so maybe some other time I'll be able to get that building. It's got sandbags, some trucks, some other trucks underneath camo tents. That could be a nice target eventually. And then we had frontline observation building. That's just a regular building we could destroy. Here there was a whole crossroad little thing. The outpost doesn't show, so I don't know if it was destroyed or if something happened to it. Okay. Maybe it doesn't like when you put another unit right on it. And then this is gone. We destroyed it. These guys are still there. So there's a lot in the mission. So hopefully you enjoyed. Gonna open up the canopy and now we're gonna exit out. So Cool Hand out.